Hi guys, so I'm doing another book review today, and I promised in my last video that I'm going to review as a video on their own any of the books that get sent for review in 2019 if I like them. So you know that I'm doing this video because I like this book. I actually just finished it last night and it's fresh, so I thought I'd chat to you about it now, and that is Memories of the Future by Siri Hurstvedt. Now before I start kind of chatting about this book, I just want to say that I tried to read Siri Hurstvedt's non-fiction book Men Looking at Men, Men Looking at Women Looking at Men, something like that. Women Looking at Men Looking at Women, something like that, and I found it really hard. But I did really like it, I just really struggled to understand it, and I'm going to give it another go at some stage in the future. So I'm going to have another go at that one, but I did really like the way she was explaining things, and I thought I bet her fiction's a bit more accessible, and I'd heard people who really liked her fiction already. So when I knew that this one was coming out, 19th of March by the way, I thought I should really pick it up. This is such a strange, lovely novel. If I was kind of going to synopsis it, it's basically about a young woman who moves to New York to kind of find herself, I guess. That's the kind of the idea. She's in like her early 20s. She's come to write a novel, and she's come to kind of change her life a little bit and kind of refresh herself and find herself anew, I think. But the reason why I really enjoyed this book and why I thought it was so clever is that the book is told by herself at like 65, writing back on her as a young woman. So you have this text which is like mostly from the young woman's perspective, but you get these little asides where the author of who's writing it in the novel, like the 6-year-old woman, is reflecting back on what she's done. It's also got loads of different bits and pieces in there that I just love, like it has little drawings in there, and it has like diary entries, and it has like long sections of poems, and here we go, this different text here is the book she's writing. So you kind of get like all of these different sides of the story coming in. It's just fantastic. The characters are so strange and wonderful, and I could kind of connect quite a lot of what she's doing. Even when she's feeling like a bit mad, you go with her and you want to stay with her storyline. Like again, I don't want to do too many spoilers because it isn't really like a massively plot driven book. It's more about like a few key things that happened to her in these years. But there's a woman called Lucy who kind of makes these strange noises through the wall, and she's her neighbour, and our main character is kind of a little bit drawn to her and her strangeness because of her own like aloneness. It's really lovely. I kind of don't want to like spoil any more of the plot, because I think that's a little bit of the joy of it, is that not a lot happens, but you're kind of drawn into her life and finding out what happens to her. I really want to read more Siri Hurstvedt after this, so I'm going to still leave the non-fiction alone for a little minute or two, just because I was a bit cowed by it, and I feel like I need to just give myself some space and time to learn some more about the world before I go back into it. But I do want to read some more of her fiction. Yeah, so I would say keep your eye out for this one. It will look slightly different. There's a naked lady on the cover of mine. I don't know if you can quite see that, if the white balance is playing nicely. And the woman will be dressed in the version that comes to the bookshops. So keep your eye out. It was really good. It's not hard. Like, I was a bit worried that it was going to be really dense or inaccessible because of how I found the non-fiction quite hard, but it really isn't. And I think it's really enjoyable. And yeah, it kind of was like a little bit of a typical like New York finding herself story, but the way it was told and all the clever things it weaves in, and the different kinds of like styles and formats, and telling the story like through a story, through someone else telling a story, and all of those like literary devices were just experimental and fun, and I think you guys would really enjoy it. So I'll talk to you all again soon in another video, and look after yourselves until then. Bye.